Alright folks, quick video of my less than $20 backup sensors that I've installed in my 2006 Jeep LJ. As you can see, there are 4 sensors, 1, 2, 3, and another one 4 right there. For ease of installation, for those of you that know, the Jeep TJ or LJ end caps are plastic, so I started there. That was going to be the easiest hole to make. It is a 7/8 inch hole. So I started there, and believe it or not, even with just the 2 end sensors, I got pretty good results. I did end up drilling 2 extra holes. That one and that one right there with a Bosch 7/8 step drill bit, which worked amazingly. It drilled a hole through that with a little PB blaster being sprayed once in a while just to cool down the bit. It worked out really well. I did purchase another brand that didn't function quite well. I'll put a link to the Bosch drill bit down below. But as you can see, 4 sensors. I'll link to the sensor that I bought on Amazon as well. And here's the unit. Not so neatly tucked away, but you can see once I've got the carpeting on, it's out of sight. Here's what the unit looks like. Fairly simple. Here's the control module, some self-tapping screws holding it down. It does come with double-sided tape. Decided not to use it. I put 2 self-tapping screws there. Simple enough. Power, positive, negative. Luckily, I already had positive, negative wires running out of my reverse tail light. You do need to tap into your reverse tail light bulbs wiring to make this work, because the module kicks on when you obviously throw it in reverse and those lights go on. It powers the module. So here's my reverse camera. Maybe I'll make a video about that later on at some point. Then here's the plug for the monitor. The monitor is the sensing module that sits in the dashboard. I'll show you that in a minute. And 4 wires for each sensor. You do have to keep in mind though, when you do install the sensor, that I can pop this one out easily, which I'm actually not going to, because there are little plastic tabs that you kind of have to get something really closely in between that little gap just to make sure it pops in. Behind this there is a up down. Well, it doesn't say down, it just says up. So just make sure when you're positioning the sensor, you just rotate it and make sure the up sign is on top. Not sure how that affects anything, but nonetheless, that's what I did. Up is up. So again, module, fairly simple, positive, negative. Wire these up to your reverse tail light, and the module kicks on. Now let's go check out what the sensor looks like in the front. There's the sensor for the dash. Didn't quite tuck in these wires. I'm planning on getting another one for the front. So when I get both of those, I'll figure out where to mount these a little neatly. But you can see it looks rather OEM. When I start the car, you'll notice it doesn't go on. Just make sure there's nothing behind me. Well, there's that. Close the tailgate. Now notice I've got a pretty good amount of gap right here. All right, I want to say about 4 feet maybe. Actually, I'm going to take a quick measurement. Set this right here. you guys can see while I back up. Pretty close. Let's see how much room we've got. I'm gonna do about bumper to garage door. That is about, I want to say, there. That is about 14 inches. All right, 14 inches, or just a little more than a foot. I do have the tire back here, so from the tire to the door is about, let's say, 10 inches. All right, so that's about 10 inches, and from the bumper from the sensor to the garage is about 14 inches. All right, let's see what it says in the front. So when I put it in reverse, all right, you see that it's in red. That means I'm very close. Now I'm going to shift it to drive. See, the sensor went off. Then move up a tad. I'm going to put it back in reverse. All right, you see that the sensor is activated. I'm going to go back slowly. As I go back, I know it's very hard to tell on camera because it's not picking up the signals properly. I can see it. You might see it flashing. I don't actually see it flashing, but hopefully you can tell the 0.5 there. All right. Yep, that is a 0.5. Notice that as I go further back, that changed to a 0.4. Now you've got a red bar. And as I keep going back, there's my 0, and a loud audible noise that tells me I'm super close. All right, so let's see what super close is. Put it back in park. Put you guys down for a minute. Super close is about 11 inches. Gotta be careful with my tire back here. And that's about 7 inches. That is more than enough. All right, that is perfect. That's exactly what I need to know. I don't need to get any closer to another car or my garage door. Even if I left it at the 0.4 or the 0.3, that would have been enough. Again, I'm going to go up, back in reverse, sensor's activated. We just go really far away. You'll notice the sensor is not activated. Reverse, as I get closer. Sensor starts picking up the garage door, as you can see from my rear view camera. As I get closer and closer and closer, the audible sound increases. And it works perfectly. One of the reasons for me installing this is clearly this is a convertible. And what happens is the screen, as you can tell, isn't very helpful. Neither is the backup camera when the sun is shining directly on it. And it's a fairly cloudy day today. And you still can't see this. So, it's one more safety feature to make sure I don't run into my kids' bikes, or I don't run into anything that I shouldn't be. All right, hope that helps. Good luck.